Hello viewers, welcome taking you through the story for A-Level Applied Mathematics. And this video I'm going to go through the marking guide of Senior 5 and of Term 1 2022 of one of the schools I happen to be a teacher. So this video is suitable for students in both Senior 5 and Senior 6 offering Principal Mathematics as part of their combination. So shall I start with question 1. Question 1 says, a yacht sails 5 kilometers in the direction north 30 degrees east, followed by 4 kilometers due east. How far and in what direction is the yacht then from its original position? So the first thing to do is to make a sketch of the motion. So the yacht is 5 kilometers in the direction north 30 degrees east. So this is the north 30 degrees east, and this is the 5 kilometers up to this point, followed by 4 kilometers due east. So 4 kilometers from there due east. Then they said how far and in what direction is the yacht then from its original position. So we must draw a straight line from start to end. So use a ruler to draw these diagrams. So they want this value of x, and also to get the direction you have to get the theta so that you can get the whole of this. So by cosine rule, I know this, and I know the whole of this angle is 120. Therefore I can be able to get the value of x. So by cosine rule, x squared is equal to square root of 5 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 5 times 4 cos 120 degrees. And the value of x will be that. Then by sine rule, I know this angle, meaning I can use this and I also use this. Therefore sine theta over 4 is equal to sine 120 over this value of x, to give you the value of theta as 26.33 degrees. Therefore the direction will be north 30 plus 26.33 degrees east, which is north 56.33 degrees east. Then you can conclude. That was question 1. Question 2 says the time in seconds for phone calls made by 12 customers at a public telephone booth were recorded as follows. Find Roman 1 the mean time and Roman 2 the standard deviation. So Roman 1, the mean time, you have to first get the summation of all these values, which is 1298. Then from there we can get the mean. So there are 12 and the total is here, so to be that total over 12 to give you this, or this, the 2 is okay. Now that is Roman 1. Roman 2, they wanted standard deviation. So standard deviation, you have to get the sum of the squares of all the values, which is summation of x squared. So sum of the squares of all the values will be equal to this. Therefore, I'll come and code the formula. This formula is available in your mathematical logbook. So substitute summation of x squared and summation x n under square root because they wanted standard deviation. So in the end, you'll come up with 11.3932 as the answer they wanted. Then question 3, a motorist rides along a straight road from shop X to shop Y. He passes shop X with a velocity of this and accelerates uniformly at this until he attains a velocity of this at shop Y. Find part A, the time taken by the cyclist to reach shop Y, and part B, the distance xy. So we know the initial velocity, we know acceleration, we know final velocity. That is for part A, so therefore shall come and use the first equation of motion and make t the subject to give you the value of t as 16. Then for distance, we shall use second equation of motion, substitute for u, for t, for a, and for t to give you 960 meters. And that's what they wanted. Then question 4 says, the table below shows the wages of workers in thousands of shillings. Part A, calculate the weighted aggregate index number for the monthly wage in 2017 and comment on your result. So they want the weighted aggregate index number in 2017. That means that 2016 is the base year. So the weighted aggregate index number is given by that formula, summation of price in 2017 times weight over summation of price in 2016 times weight, everything multiplied by 100. So shall come and substitute, simplify, and get the answer they wanted. In part B, they wanted you to comment. So commenting, you first get this one minus 100 to get 91.08. So that is what you write here. So the wages increased by this between these 2 years which are given in the question. Now why do we say increased? We say increased because this value is above 100. If it was below 100, you would have said decreased. Question 5 says, a stone is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of this. Calculate part A, the maximum height attained by the stone, and part B, the time the stone takes to reach the maximum height. So from the third equation of motion, we shall substitute. When this is 0, the height is maximum. So the maximum height velocity is 0. Simplify and make h marks the subject, and that is what they wanted. Then for part B, the time the stone takes to reach the maximum height. So from first equation of motion, we know final velocity is 0, initial is 21, g is a constant, so I can make t the subject. And that would be the answer they wanted. Then question 6, two events A and B are such that probability of A complement given B complement has occurred is 2/7 and probability of B is 2/3. Find probability of A union B and probability of A intersection B complement. So here probability of B complement is 1 minus probability of B, which is a third. Therefore probability of A complement intersection B complement will be probability of B complement multiplied by probability of A complement given B complement has occurred. So like I told you, what is here after the slash is what you put this side. So here if you put any other event, it becomes wrong. So it must be exactly the same as what is there. So substitute for B complement and A complement given B complement to give you this. But the question wants A union B. Therefore A union B is equal to 1 minus A union B complement. And this one, when I bring this complement inside, it will be 1 minus A intersection 1 minus probability of A complement intersection B complement. So what have we done? Here, when this complement goes inside, the intersection, the sign here changes. It was union, now it is intersection. 2, the complement was outside, now it is on each event. Then I'll substitute because I know this, and I'll be able to get the answer they wanted. That was Roman 1. What about Roman 2? Probability of A intersection B complement. From the contiguous table, it will be probability of B complement minus probability of A complement intersection B complement. So a video on probability theory is also available on this platform. You can check it out and be well versed with all these probability theory laws. So So substitute for B complement and A complement intersection B complement to come up with this as the answer they wanted. So now we shall go to question 7. Question 7 says, a particle is initially at rest at a point whose position vector is this. If the particle accelerates at this, find its distance from the origin after 4 seconds. So you come and quote the second equation of motion and substitute. This is 0, 0 because it was at rest. Acceleration is that, time is that. So you come up with this as the displacement traveled. So displacement from the origin will be this from the initial position vector plus the displacement traveled, initial plus displacement to give you the displacement from origin. So this S is called displacement from the starting position, and this one will now this one is what we call displacement from the origin. But the one distance, so distance you have to get the magnitude, and that will give you 42.9535 meters. We are putting units because units were shown here. That is why you are adding them. Then question 8 says, the table below shows a distribution of marks in an examination of a certain class in a certain school. Part A, calculate the mean and standard deviation. Part B, construct an ogive and estimate. Roman 1, the number that fail if the pass mark is 40. And part B, the minimum mark of a distinction if 10% get a distinction. So here the best thing to do is to tabulate first. So we get our table. So for the marks, we put there the marks. Then we shall also put the frequency. And we add all those values and get the total. Then we also need the mid mark. So for the mid mark, we shall add and divide by 2. So this plus this divide by 2, 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 this and 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 this divide by 2. The next will be fx. Fx we shall multiply this times this gives you that, this times this, this times this, this times this, this and this, this and this, this and this, and this and that. So next is to add up all these values using a calculator to come up with the total. Then because they ask for standard deviation, we have to also get fx squared. So fx squared is this times this squared to give you that, this times this squared, 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 this times this squared. Then you also add up all these values. So when you add up, you'll come up with that. Then because they ask for the ogive, we have to get a column of CF. So for CF, we first write this one here, then 18, add on this to come up with that. 52 divide plus this to get that. This plus this, this plus this, this plus this, this plus this, this plus that. Okay, so I think you realize that this total frequency is the same as this last value here. So one, we shall get the mean, summation of fx divided by summation of f. So we shall get this divided by this to give you 40.7 as the mean. Then standard deviation, quote the formula. The formula is also available in your mathematical logbooks. Then substitute for this, for this, for this, for that. Then use the calculator to come up with the standard deviation. Then next is to construct an ogive. So let's first construct the ogive. We shall need a graph paper. Then draw the axes, vertical and horizontal. Then get a scale for the horizontal axis. Label it. Then also get the scale for the vertical axis. And also label it. The next will be to plot. So you plot upper class boundaries with cumulative frequency, this and that. So 20 goes with 18, 30 goes with 52, 40 goes with 110, 50 goes with 152, 60 goes with 176, 70 goes with 186, 80 goes with 192, and 90 goes with 200. So you have to draw a reasonably smooth curve through all these points, and the curve should not be left hanging, so it's extended up to the origin. So let's do that. Okay, so we have drawn an ogive. Then we shall go and see what they asked. They told us to get the number that failed if the pass mark is 40. So we shall come here and locate 40 here, take it upwards to meet the curve, then go this side to meet the vertical axis, and read of that value. That means that the number that failed will be 110. That was Roman 1. What about Roman 2? For Roman 2, they want the minimum mark of a distinction if 10% get a distinction. %, those are the top ones, therefore minimum mark will be 100 minus 10 times n to give you 180th position. So we shall come and locate 180, then where it cuts the curve, we take it downwards to meet the horizontal axis and read of the value, and that will be the minimum mark. So basically that is what they wanted. Now we shall go to question 9. Question 9 says, a ball is kicked from a spot 30 meters from the goalposts with a velocity of 20 meters per second at 30 degrees to the horizontal. The ball just clears, note this word, just clears the horizontal bar of the goalposts. Find Roman 1, the velocity with which the ball just clears the goalposts. Roman 2, the height of the goalpost. And Roman 3, how far behind the goalposts the ball lands. So the word just clears means in football it is called brushes. So it just passes exactly at the top of the goalpost. So we shall come and first illustrate with a diagram. So that is the goalpost. Let the height be y, and they told us it is 30 meters from the point, starting point. Then we shall draw our motion of the path taken by the ball up to there. So this is what they mean by brushes. It passes exactly at the top of the goal post. And the velocity was this, and the direction of motion was that. So from here to the very end is what we call the range. And this is the... Okay, so for now, what they want... Let me see the question. What they want in Roman 1 is the velocity with which the ball just clears the goal post. So they want the velocity at point P. So at this point, the horizontal distance moved is 30 meters. And the vertical is y, which we don't know. Therefore, we shall come here and say that Roman 1, considering horizontal motion, x is equal to ut cos theta. Horizontal distance is 30, initial velocity is 20, and angle of projection is 30. Therefore, t can be made the subject, and that will be the time taken to move from O up to P. Now that I know the time, I can come and get the velocities at this point. So, first of all, consider the horizontal velocity. It is always constant throughout the motion. So, horizontal velocity at this point will be the horizontal velocity at the starting point. That is why we are seeing Vx is equal to u cos theta. So, substitute and use a calculator. But when it comes to vertical velocity, it keeps on changing because of gravity. Therefore, it will be u sin theta minus gt. To substitute for u, substitute for theta, substitute for g, substitute for t. Then use a calculator to come up with negative value. Now, negative means vertically, for vertical path, for the vertical direction, negative means it is downwards. Horizontally, positive means it is to the right. Therefore, we shall come and draw our triangle, positive horizontal, followed by negative vertical. Now here we don't put a negative sign because the direction was showing the direction. The negative sign showed that it is downwards. Then we draw a line from start to end, and that will be the resultant velocity they want. So you have to get this velocity and this direction. So by Pythagoras theory, v is that. But velocity is a vector quantity, so you have to get also the direction. Therefore, you shall come and state that the velocity with which the ball just clears the goalpost is this, in the direction this, below the horizontal. Then Roman 2 asked for height of the goalpost, so they want the value of y, this value of y. So from second equation, y will be equal to ut sin theta minus a half gt squared. So come and substitute for u, for t, for theta, for g, and for t to come up with this as the required height. Then Roman 3 they want how far behind the goalposts the ball lands. So to get this distance, I have to first get range. So range is given by the formula u squared sine 2 theta over g. So I come and substitute for u, for theta, and for g, and come up with this as the range. Therefore, the extra distance will be range minus 30 to give you that as the answer they wanted. Then question 10 says the table below shows the marks obtained in math and physics by 9 students. Part A, Roman 1, draw a scatter diagram for the data. Roman 2, on your scatter diagram, draw a line of base feet. And Roman 3, use the line of base feet to estimate the value of x when y is that. And part B, calculate the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient and comment on your result. So questions of correlation, the first step is to tabulate. So we shall come and tabulate our values. So first put the values of x, followed by the values of y. So you have to get the total values of y also. Then also get the total. The next is to rank values of x. So remember, ranking is in descending order. The largest value gets the smallest rank. So you first look for the largest. 68 takes rank 1, followed by 64 takes rank 2, followed by 62 takes rank 3, then 61 rank 4, then 56 rank 5, then 54 rank 6, 51 rank 7, 47 rank 8, 44 rank 9. The next will be ranking values of y, still in descending order. So 59 takes rank 1, 58 takes rank 2, 56 takes rank 3, 54 takes rank 4, 53 takes rank 5, 49 takes rank 6, 46 takes rank 7, 45 takes rank 8, and lastly 43 takes rank 9. The next is the column of D. D you have to subtract. This minus this gives you that. This minus this. 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 And this minus that. The next is to get the values of D squared. So this squared gives you this squared, this squared, this squared, this squared, 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 squared. So we add up all these values. So when I add them up, I'll come up with 4. So now we can go, now that we have tabulated, we can go and answer the questions. First was drawing a scatter diagram for the data. So we shall need a graph paper. Then we draw the axes horizontal and vertical. Then from there we'll get the scale for the horizontal axis. And label it. Then scale for the vertical axis. And label it. Then we shall start to plot. So plotting, 51 goes with 45 to give you that. 62 goes with 54 to give you that. 64 goes with 58 to give you that. 47 with 46 to give you that. 54 with 49 to give you that. 44 with 43 to give you that. 68 with 59 to give you that. 61 with 56 to give you that. And lastly 56 with 53 to give you that. So we have drawn a scatter diagram. Next is, they said, on your scatter diagram, draw a line of best fit. So for you to draw the line of best fit, you must get the mean point. So you come here and say that the mean point x bar is that, y bar is that. Therefore the mean point will be this one. Now this point has to also be located on your graph, which is that. And next is to draw the line of best fit. Now the line of best fit follows some rules. 1, it must pass through this mean point, and 2, it must pass through any one or more of the other points plotted, and 3, it must leave equal or almost equal points on either side. So if you draw this line, we shall have to analyze it. 1, it has gone through the mean point, that is okay. Then next condition, it must pass through one or more other points. So it must pass through one point at least, that is another tick. Then 3, it must leave equal or almost equal points on either side. There is this 1, 2, 3, 4. What about this side? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 3 conditions have been met, meaning that line of best fit is valid. And that was Roman 2. Then Roman 3. Roman 3, use the line of best fit to estimate the value of x when y is 55. So we shall come here from 55. We shall take a line up to the line of best fit, then draw perpendicular to meet the horizontal axis and read off that value. So that will be the answer they wanted. How did they get it? They said, first of all, this is 60. That's why you put it here, 60. Then from here up to the point, up this point, there are 3.5 small squares. But we know that the scale gives us that each small square has 0.5 units, represents 0.5 units. That's why I multiply by 0.5 units, and in the end you come up with 61.75. So in short, these ones are number of small squares, and this is the scale for one small square. That was part A. What about part B? Part B says calculate the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient and comment on your result. So you quote the formula and then substitute for d squared and for n and n squared. You will come up with 0.9667. Then you can comment. To comment will be either significant at 5% or significant at 1%. Any of the two is okay. Now how can we know that it is significant or not significant? One, we need to know the number of pairs. They are 9. Then 2, we need to know the calculated value is 0.9667. After that, we shall go to our table in your mathematical logbooks. Look for 9 is here. So these are two values of interest, this one and this one. Then the heading says significant if that calculated value exceeds the table value. So the 9.667 exceeds this, therefore it is significant at 5%. Also 9.667 exceeds this value, therefore it is significant at 1%. So that is how you can know the comment. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and bear in mind the next video will be of Physics 1 end of term 1 marking guide. So if you have not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button below this video so that you can receive updates when the next video has been uploaded. And also, if you know of any student who is not yet on this platform, please share the link of this video with them via social media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp, so that you can all benefit as a family.